Hi. What I have in my pockets are balloons of various colors. I'm going to make things out of these balloons depending on which color I pull out. So, first things first, orange. That is the color of a sword in my book. So, we're going to stretch it out a little bit like this. There we go. A sword is a necessary piece of equipment for any young adventurer, pirate, cavalry. Give it just a little bit of air leakage, just in case. Now, I always have the hardest time with tying the balloon, you know? I normally ask my mom to tie the balloon for me, but she's not here, so I have to manage on my own. Yeah, there we go. Whew. Now, this one is very simple and very effective. Right now, what you have is a worm or a snake. But instead, I'm going to transform it very quickly into a sword. Boom! There you have it, a sword. Ha ha! Perfect. Next up, we have a brown balloon, like the color of a dog. So I think I'm gonna make a dog. That'll get you, won't it? So here we've got. You know, some people like to inflate it they inflate the balloons with their mouth. Nah, that sounds a little icky if I'm going to be giving it to everybody else. So instead, I'll just use the pump. It seems a lot more sanitary. Now this, I think I'm going to name my dog after my dog back home, so it's going to be named Jojo. Jojo needs a nose. First things first, we got to give Jojo a nose. Jojo's a little bit bigger. There we go. Give Jojo a nose. It doesn't look like much, does it? That's okay. Next up, we're going to give her some ears. So old Jojo here is going to get some ears to listen to you with. How's she going to come if you don't, how's she going to listen to orders if you don't give her a name? So, now we've got a little face. Ooh. Next up, you need the neck because the head bone's connected to which one? The neck bone. Before we can get to any sort of shoulders or anything like that, gotta give it the neck bone. Long old legs. There we go. Looking the wrong way there. That's eyes front, soldier. Perfect. Now, we're gonna give old Jojo here a bit of a longer body, like a dachshund. Whoops. All right, very nice here, and just like that, there you have it. Just like my dog at home, little dachshund. Perfect. Next up, we have a purple. Purple in my handbook means headset. So we're gonna stretch it out, make sure that it's perfect for like a video game headset, you know what I mean? There we go. Get our handy dandy little pump. And give it, let's see here, that's too much in there, we're just gonna give a little, perfect, maybe a little bit less. So now, I love playing video games at home, but part of the fun of video games is that whenever you get to play with your friends. But I don't always live next to my friends, so if I have a headset, I can talk to them while I play. So what we've got here, we're going to measure it on my head. Just for good measure, one more. Perfect. All right, see what we're working with here? Next up, we're going to take it, we're going to get it nice and warm. Squeeze a little bit of the air out, right? And then what that should do is bend it for us. And now on the very end, we're going to create a bit of a vacuum here and make it where the air has to go towards the very end. Whoops! Which is what we want because we need a microphone for our headset. And there you have it. Perfect for the gamer on the go. Next up, I've got, pink. Pink like a flower. So we're going to go ahead and make a flower out of this. Now the flower takes a lot of folds. So we're going to make sure that this is really stretched out. In fact, we're going to take a minute. They sneak up on you, don't they? Flowers, if you know anything about flowers, it's that each one is different. And that's definitely the case for these, because they're a little bit all over the place. I need a little bit more air than that. I let out a little bit too much. So I guess we're gonna start over. But on the bright side, now we know that the balloon is real pumped up and real stretched. Perfect. Now we gotta tie it up. Now, like with any other flowers, we're also gonna have to make a stem for this in just a second. But one step at a time, we don't wanna rush things. Slow and steady wins the race. It looks like my finger might be part of the flower too. Ow! I'm telling you guys, tying the knot's the hardest part. There we go. Beautiful. Now, we're gonna take it, make one little petal, and we're gonna tie it in a little knot just in case we don't want it to come undone, because it's the very beginning. Now we're going to take another one of approximately the same size. Perfect. And another one. And another one. And guess what? After this, you'll never guess what's going to happen. We're going to make another one. Take it. Twist it up real nice. There you have it, a firework. No, I'm kidding, it's a flower. We're gonna just adjust things a little bit, make it nice and pretty. Very nice. One petal's a little bit longer, but that's okay. That petal's in charge of all the others. So we're gonna set this aside for now. I'll put it right there. We'll get our stem out. Now stems, if you don't know, are green, oftentimes because of a chemical in there called chlorophyll. Yeah, anything that's green in plants tends to have chlorophyll in it. So, also another thing about plants, flowers in particular, they get their sunlight from their leaves, right? Now, if we're going to make leaves on our stem, we're going to have to, if we want our flower to be as pretty as that one is, we need to make sure that the leaves are nice and big to match it so they can collect a lot of sunlight. Perfect. So I'm going to make sure that the leaves are really big. Wow. Really big leaves. And you also want to make sure that they're primed and ready for catching sunlight. So we're going to give them a little squeeze. It's also really good for catching water in them too. Then we're going to take it, let it out a little bit. Now it's bent for our flower to sit on. Now, and as fast as you can say photosynthesis, you've got it. A beautiful pink flower with stem to match.